Hi everyone, my name is Abbas and I am from Biztechmasters. I am going to talk about PCI compliance in today's video presentation. Well, the PCI Standards Council, that's the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards Council, has developed these standards for all organizations that accept credit cards as a payment method. According to the PCI Standards Council, and I quote, the PCI DSS, where DSS stands for Data Security Standard, is a set of comprehensive requirements for enhancing payment account data security and was developed by the founding payment brands of the PCI Security Standards Council, including American Express, Discover Financial Services, JCB International, MasterCard Worldwide, and Visa Inc. International, to help facilitate the broad adoption of consistent data security measures on a global basis. Basically, the PCI DSS has 12 key requirements related to information technology networks, data, vulnerability management, access control, and security policy. Well, one of the things that a lot of clients ask us is that why do they need to be PCI compliant? Well, um, having PCI compliance demonstrates due diligence of senior management and enhances the ability to maintain confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity of information, as well as the management at these organizations which are PCI compliant receives a safe harbor status um, when they follow the PCI DSS rules. What that means is that um, the PCI Standards Council might impose penalties in case of a breach for organizations that are not PCI compliant. Now, what you need to do to be PCI compliant, there are different merchant types that the PCI Standards Council has established, and based on the type of merchant you are, you have to do different levels of effort for PCI compliance. Um, the way the merchant level is established is there are four levels. Level one is any merchant, regardless of acceptance channel, whether it's online transactions, over the phone, um, POS systems, regardless of the channel, if you are processing over 6 million Visa transactions per year, um, any merchant if you that is processing more than 6 million transactions per year is considered a one merchant. Level two merchant is someone, regardless of acceptance criteria, again, that processes between 1 million to 6 million Visa transactions per year. Now, um, there is a third level, which is any merchant processing 20,000 to 1 million e-commerce transactions per year. And the fourth level is any merchant processing fewer than 20,000 Visa e-commerce transactions per year, and all other merchants, regardless of acceptance channel, which may be processing up to 1 million Visa transactions per year. Now, how this relates to um, what an organization needs to do for PCI compliance essentially translates into whether you need to get a QSA, which is a qualified security assessor, or an ASB, which is an approved scanning vendor, come in and do the QSA audit and vulnerability scan as well as a penetration test, or whether you can get the SAQ in lieu of QSA. The SAQ is a self-assessment questionnaire that an organization can complete with the help of a security professional on their own. So again, an SAQ is much less expensive than a full-fledged QSA audit, and essentially um, the organization um, um, has an option to complete the SAQ um, on an annual basis. Now, in terms of the SAQ, there are four different types of SAQs that are available currently at the PCI Standard Council's website. The four are essentially categorized as SAQ A, B, C, and D. And depending on the type of merchant you are and the type of transactions you carry out, you have to fill the specific SAQ. If you are a level 4 merchant, you can complete the SAQs. So again, SAQA is I will describe what what kind of a merchant has to complete SAQA versus what kind of a merchant has to complete SAQD, as in David. Anyhow, so um, if you are a merchant that does not take card and you do mostly e-commerce, mail, or telephone order credit card processing, and all cardholder data functions are outsourced, you would be filling out an SAQA. If you are a merchant that takes only imprints and there is no electronic cardholder data storage, you can complete SAQB. Now, if you are a merchant with a POS system which is connected to the internet, but there's no electronic cardholder data storage you would be completing SAQC. Now, if for all other merchants that I have not listed before, and all service providers. When I say service providers, it's a service. For example, in Canada, TELUS is a service provider. Um, they, there could be other organizations that provide a service for other organizations. So TELUS is an internet service provider. They provide internet to a lot of different companies. Um, so there are other service providers um, that could be providing some sort of service with the cloud. So Salesforce.com is a service provider that provides sales services, sales and marketing, CRM services to other businesses. So they are a business service provider in this context. So um, if the merchant saves cardholder data, they no matter how many transactions they do, anytime you save cardholder data, you have to complete SAQD. Now, this creates an interesting situation where, because SAQD is extremely comprehensive, um, and the 12 requirements listed are covered in full detail, and it's like a full QSA audit, whereas SAQC and the others are much shorter. So an organization has to see whether it's smart to store any credit card data, because the overhead in terms of completing the SAQD and implementing the related security measures in terms of two-factor authentication, security policy, um, security awareness training, and firewall setup. Um, all of that um, is looked at in much more detail in SAQD versus the other SAQs A, B, and C. So once you store credit card data, you have to comply with all the requirements of SAQD. So um, that's an area where it's a strategic decision for an organization whether to store credit card holder data, including any personally identifiable information, which is considered the data in context of PCI compliance. So this is a brief presentation about PCI compliance. Again, this is Abbas from Biztechmasters. If you like any further information regarding our PCI readiness services or our security expertise to help you complete the PCI SAQ, do not hesitate to contact me at AABDAS at biztechmasters.com, or you can reach us at 1-888-666-1745. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.